My teaching philosophy. Being a teacher brings along with its responsibilities, and one of these responsibilities refers to answer what kind of teacher do I want to be. The answer for this question will be the guideline for my professional practices and at the same time a rubric to assess my daily practice. To establish what kind of teacher I want to be, I want to mention some aspects which I consider essential for being a teacher. Some of them came to my mind after reading Pedagogy of the Autonomy by Paulo Freire. First, passionate about teaching, but as a professional. Personally, I consider that being passionate about education or teaching is an important factor for being a teacher because it is the motivation for doing what I have to do and what I want to do in my classroom, but it is not enough because at the same time I have to be professional and not to forget that being a teacher is a job and it refers to improve my practices, assess myself and do my best in order to achieve the institutional goals and my personal objectives as a teacher. Second, research and self-assessment. As Pablo Freire said, no hay enseñanza sin investigación ni investigación sin enseñanza. As a teacher, I'm a researcher in terms of observing my classroom in order to be critical about my practices. It means I have to develop through research the capability of making reflection in action and reflection on action. In this case, being a researcher is not just related to produce knowledge, it is related to use research as an instrument for self-assessment in order to improve pedagogical practices. Third, we will never end up learning. Part of the education process is to comprehend that learning is an endless process. As a teacher, it's my responsibility to learn from my practice and constantly seek ways to expand and renew my knowledge. But this aspect is not just focused in my practice or in my personal development. As a teacher, I have to guide my students in the process of discovering that human condition and also motivate them to find out knowledge not just in the academia but in their daily life. Fourth, recognize a student's knowledge. Part of the teacher role is to create connections between a student's background knowledge and new experiences. That is crucial for the learning process, and the teacher cannot ignore the empirical information. On the contrary, we have to incorporate it to the classroom. Thus, it will be a motivation for critical thinking. At this point, I'm aware that I have a lot to improve, not only in relation with the four aspects presented. On the other hand, to establish what kind of teacher I want to be, I consider it is necessary to point out that one of the major motivations for being a teacher are the bad teachers that I had in school. They gave me the inspiration to make the decision of starting this program. It means that, among other things, I'm in this program in order to change the terrible perception of education that I obtained in my educative process. Based on that terrible experiences, I'm trying to rebuild my performance as a teacher through a critical view of the educative purposes. It helps me to establish that my classroom has to be a space to think and rethink the reality, and also an opportunity to dream and reveal what society is trying to impose. It is important to mention that I'm a language teacher, but I understand language just as my excuse to develop moral values and to promote the reconstruction of the society. In relation with the Spanish and English acquisition, which is my specific area, I consider that in my classroom the dialogue between arts, literature, and language plays a significant role. Also, the four macro skills in both language are important, and I have the responsibility to work in favor of all of them. Finally, I think that answering the question about the kind of teacher I want to be is more than a simple response. Instead of that, I have to build my identity and transform it, taking into account the context, the students, and also my personal growth.